The Mahabharata is famous for its legendary warriors, massive armies, and a world-shattering war. But if you look closely at the turning points of this epic, the warriors aren't actually the ones pulling the strings. This infographic maps the entire timeline of the Kuru dynasty. Notice what happens whenever the bloodline faces a dead end, a power vacuum, or total extinction. It's not a general or a king who steps in to fix it. It's a solitary ascetic, a sage. Armed with divine boons and devastating curses, these ascetics held power that completely dwarfed the kings they advised. A single word could alter bloodlines, spawn entire armies, or doom an empire to ruin. To understand how the epic was actually orchestrated, we need to decode these hidden architects. We can break their interventions down into 3 distinct operating roles: the creators, the disruptors, and the guides. Let's open the dossier. This systemic breakdown is based on archival research compiled and presented by Pawan Thakur of Thakur Property Consultancy. The Mahabharata functions as a programmed system of karma, where every shift in power is meticulously balanced by these wandering saints. We begin with Category 1, the creators. These are the originators who used biological and divine workarounds to preserve the bloodline and populate the board with opposing forces. Take a look at the center of this lineage matrix. When the Kuru lineage faced total extinction, it was sage Vyasa who acted as the primary intervention node. Through the practice of Niyoga, he fathered Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura, single-handedly rebooting the royal family tree. Following the red pathway on the chart, you'll see Queen Gandhari's lineage. When she birthed a lifeless mass of flesh, Vyasa divided that biological material into 101 pots of ghee, engineering the birth of the 100 Kauravas. Over on the golden pathway, we see the Pandava lineage. Kunti utilized a divine mantra from sage Durvasa to invoke deities directly, bypassing human biological constraints entirely to birth the 5 Pandavas and Karna. And the creation didn't stop at childbirth. Sages Yaja and Upayaja conducted a massive fire sacrifice for King Drupada. From those flames emerged Princess Draupadi and Drishtadyumna, fully grown adults, engineered specifically to be weapons of vengeance. By injecting divine variables into the human equation, these creators ensured every necessary piece was on the board for the coming conflict. Once the pieces were on the board, a different set of sages stepped in to restrict them. These are the disruptors. Looking at the top timeline here, labeled System Origins, notice the orange disruption node. The epic's foundational anomaly stems from a curse by sage Vashista. He condemned a celestial being to live a long earthly life as Devavrata. To secure his father's happiness, Devavrata took a terrifying vow of lifelong celibacy, becoming the bound patriarch, Bhishma. Later, King Pandu made a fatal error while hunting, shooting sage Kindam and his wife. In his dying moments, the sage cursed Pandu to die instantly if he ever engaged in physical intimacy. That single curse broke the royal succession. Pandu was forced into asceticism, abandoning the throne. As this diagram shows, the single line of rulership fractures right here, creating the multi-generational power vacuum that triggered the brutal rivalry between Kauravas and the Pandavas. Even the ultimate warrior sage, Lord Parashurama, acted as a disruptor. He realized his prized student, Karna, had lied about his caste to gain weapons training. Parashurama cursed him to forget his divine mantras exactly when he would need them most. The disruptors functioned as the system's entropy, hard-coding calculated restrictions into the characters' lives until a peaceful resolution became mathematically impossible. With the conflict inevitable, the system required a third group to keep it from derailing entirely: the guides. Devarshi Narada operated as a cosmic strategist. When all 5 Pandatas married Draupadi, internal jealousy could have easily fractured their alliance. Narada immediately intervened, instituting strict, rotating marriage rules to keep the brothers united. Later, at the climax of the war, Arjuna and Aswatthama both unleashed world-ending Brahmastras. Narada and Vyasa physically stepped between the colliding weapons, commanding the warriors to withdraw them to prevent the annihilation of the entire universe. During the Pandavas' darkest years of exile, sages Dalmya and Markandeya provided essential anchoring. They taught the brothers how to secure the Akshay Patra, an inexhaustible vessel of food, and shared ancient histories to keep their minds aligned with Dharma. These guides rarely picked up weapons. Their function was administrative, ensuring the systemic game didn't crash before justice could be fully served. The ultimate irony of the epic is that the same power used to launch the narrative also dictated its apocalyptic conclusion. Even after the Pandavas won the war and secured a 36-year golden age, the scales of karma demanded balance. When a group of arrogant Yadava youths mocked visiting sages Vishwamitra, Kanva, and Narada, the insulted ascetics issued a terrifying curse. This aftermath section reveals the result. A singular curse catalyzed the complete self-annihilation of Krishna's Yadava clan. Moving to the final ascension, the remaining heroes abandoned their thrones for the Himalayas. Kings ruled the earth, but sages were the immutable administrators of karma. Their boons and curses were simply the physical manifestations of universal law. They proved that in the cosmic cycle of Dharma, absolutely every action demands a consequence, and no one, not even divine avatars, is exempt. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden mechanics of history's greatest stories, hit that subscribe button for The Explainer, and let us know which epic you'd like us to decode next.